This now, this here, this place, this time. This settling. About 20 minutes of gathering, settling, recollecting, reconnecting, remembering. 20 minutes or so. Body, the posture and the breath, the rhythm, receiving experience, receiving the breath, receiving life, the gift that's given, the given, and release. Release the breath, release life, the fears, the hopes, the expectations, anticipations, the remorse, the worry. Release in the knowing, connection in this knowing, in this gift, the whole of the bodily experience, the whole of the mental experience, the whole of the emotional experience, the whole of experience, the whole of this knowing, the gathered experience, given, released. In this exercise, collecting, under this, the humility of understanding the unknown, understanding the dynamic tension and release in that knowing. well-wishing, humility, and gratitude. Life given and giving life to life. In this safety, this knowing, the whole of this experience, the whole of the physical experience, the skin through to the bones, the energy around of this experience, the emotions, the tone, and what knows the tone, the thoughts, and what's not thinking, what's not thought in this knowing. The wanting and the not wanting, allowed and released, received and released. The ignorance, the not knowing, received and released. And this gift of life to life. This rhythm that is time and space, known in life, and the ending realized. This breath, this experience transformed in the knowing in life, in the context, in the sustaining of this gift, sustaining this release receiving this total acceptance, this rhythm, this here, this now, this time, this place. Welcoming, sustaining, in the present of this presence, in the present of this moment, the gift of this life, releasing the body, emotions, the thoughts, and the knowing, knowing this knowing. The all, the everything, the ending, and this release, this untangling, hope, expectation, fear, worry, all of it accepted, released. Ideas, emotions, physical experience, memories, daydreams, fantasies, stories, released. In this knowing, this time, this place, this now, this here. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhang dhammang sanghang namassami. I said before that that is a useful practice of wisdom, that chant, which seems just like a little ritual, but it's actually the practice of the first two steps of the Noble Eightfold Path, and possibly the third too, the assumption that there's something that can be learned from. There are wise and enlightened beings, or there have been, or there are records of them, or there is something that I can learn from. And then the intention to revere it, to incline one's heart towards it. And then the voicing of that through breathing air over bits of skin stuck in a throat. A strange thing speaking, isn't it? And yet there's a power in that, remembering that modulated release of air over stretched skin in a little box held in a bag of skin and bone. So intention there, a direction there in this conventional experience. And the suggestion in this teaching is that these be, the Eightfold Path be practiced. A sense of effort in a practice, a sense of assessment, discernment in this time and space. An assessment of what's the practice in accordance with Dhamma, and practice that right here, right now, outside of conventions and time and space, is in tune, in harmony with, in accord with something that is inviting, encouraging, leading a strange experience of being led or leading towards or going towards something, inwards or outwards, to ease, release, peace, the aha, the ah, the sigh of realization, each wise person for themselves, the samma practice. Now, the assumptions that the relationship to the experience that we do have of, hey, I'm here, I'm separate, born into this moment, a sense of me born into this moment. There's a way of relating to this that's noble and worthwhile and gives some value to it. And this is understood. There is this experience. There is this experience, and experience is uncomfortable at its simplest. Now, when I've experienced myself as in any shape or form, there's a sense of, what the heck am I supposed to be doing here? And that's doubt. And that's not knowing. And that's the way that it is. And it's not wrong. It's just how it is. And it's stressful knowing this. Or the sense of weariness or separation or wanting something or not wanting something or getting, or the whole business of grief, sorrow, lamentation, and despair. You know? There's this way of relating to this that is noble and worthwhile, which is to understand it. This is how it is. And it's not that it's uncaused, it's caused. It's come dependent upon conditions. There are causes and conditions for something. And there are causes and conditions that will lead to the end. There's a practice that will lead to the end. And the practice is practice, 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 practice. In this realization of the smile that comes with, okay, this is how it is. I just get on with it. It's not that it's not personal. It's not that the universe is particularly against me. It doesn't really care. It's just the way. It'll just turn on the way that it's going to turn on. With or without Ajahn Vajiro, it's not that important. And that it's just this is this particular here and now. And it doesn't. And yet, this is this opportunity, human opportunity, to question, to use tools to transform fire. The thing that animals do, they create for themselves fire. Prometheus, what they say. They have that transforming ability. And this transforming ability can be a blessing or a curse, eh? So long and short of it is that this life is either a blessing or a curse. It either transforms in ways that are in accord with Dhamma or doesn't. But the Dhamma will turn out one way or the other. But humans have a capacity to act, to use tools to transform at all levels: physical, emotional, spiritual, thought. And this power, how to use this power. Main suggestion is to not use it in ways that are destructive, ways that are just indulgent, which deaden the sensitivity. Indulgence is a way of deadening sensitivity. It allows one to be less sensitive. It's an overstimulation, a distraction, or a numbing. No, that's not intending to indulge the senses. The senses are what they are. They are the receiving part of life. The direction of the senses and the response to the senses, what we choose to notice, or what we notice because of it's forced upon, it's just forced in, it's just part of life. So we go out and seek through the senses, or interfere through the senses, or go out to. There's two sides. Notice what we want to notice, be sensitive to what we want to be sensitive to. Through the power of this attention. And it's also just part of the whole business of mixing up of form, feeling, perception, conception, and consciousness, and the way that they all act in this moment, or how the causality of the physical, the genetic, the psychic, the tone of its response, and the karma are, and niyamas. Just this way. So the training of not following indulgence, so reflecting on what is necessary, not following a sense of wanting to actually harm, actually seeking to cause harm. There's enough harm caused through ignorance to not actually seek to cause harm. These are the intentions or the volition. Well, the transforming one is actually the volition to consider and to reflect in terms of Dhamma. And the third one is not to live in hatred. On the conventional level, is not living in hatred, not living in a sense of dislike or hatred. Hatred is maybe stronger, because that transformation that comes through that is a curse. It wishes to do. It doesn't. It's not beautiful. It doesn't lead to a sense of peace for anybody. Samma sankappa, wise intention. And so, and then trusting that, trusting the assumption that the teaching that is offered, the Eightfold Path, can be practiced. Dukkha can be understood. And the causes can be the cause of dukkha, the sense of inadequacy that is the driving, or the sense of ignorance that is the driving between a thirst for sensual delight, the thirst for annihilation, getting rid of, or indulging in ignorance, or the dissatisfaction with every moment. So the next one, the next one, the next one, not able to sustain attention. sustain life. So if we don't sustain life, then we don't actually notice where it ends. Because if you really want to realize immortality, then don't get born. That's the strangeness. You're born into this sense of separation, this sense of neediness, this sense of not willing to stay with the sense of, I don't know what's going on. I need to get something out of this. Want something more. I can't live. I'm generating just a sense of me and mine in this moment. I am being born in this moment. Of course, and then there's the whole business of grief, sorrow, lamentation, and despair. Because it's I, this moment, it's just this much. The conditions that make up this moment, the causes and conditions that make up this moment, always, always, always shifting in time and space. Time and space is about this shift in perspective, shift in limitation. And the hindrance that stops us from recognizing what's the ignorance. The fact that we don't know that we don't know, which is true ignorance, not knowing what we don't know. Not knowing the response that leads to peace. Not knowing that we don't know that perpetuate, which leads to further confusion. If we know that we don't know, then there's already a sense of caution, already a sense of opening to wonderment. Already a sense of, oh, I wonder what's happening now. I wonder what knows what's happening now. How is this that there is this knowing? What is this knowing? Who is this knowing? And I really, really don't know. And that's absolutely fine. But I want to know, So I'm just trying to find. But staying with the sense of not knowing, not being born into the sense of it, into the sense of needing to manipulate anything. In the conventional level, you do what you can in terms of speech, actions, livelihood, effort. You have a tool for mindfulness. Come back to this body. What does it? How does it experience this moment? What knows this body? The energy of this body. What are the responses of this body? What's the tone of this knowing? What's the stopping and how's this? Sense of interest in now, in here. Transform the hindrances with the bojjhanga. Transform the five nivarana with the bojjhanga, the way that the Mahasatipatthana Sutta sets out for Dhammanusati, mindfulness of the Dhamma, which is goes back again to the contemplation of Dhamma, which is the samavayama, the effort, sama sankappa, right thought. Thoughts concerned with Dhamma. What is this Dhamma? What is happening? What does it all? What is this experience? What experience is sense of lust? How is it experienced without having to follow it, without having to get rid of it? And where does it end? What's not experiencing this lust? What's not experiencing this restlessness? What's not experiencing this torpor? Where does it begin? Where does it end? How does it experience? How is it experienced? Who's experiencing it? What is this? This interest and sustaining of this interest in investigation, this interest in transformation in this moment. Samma samadhi. Things are picked up, examined, with interest, happy that one's able to do this, and sustaining the collected energy, the factors of concentration, vitaka, vichara, piti, sukha, and ekaggata. That sense of, and the sustaining of that. This is just words, air passing over skin in a box covered in muscle and skin and gristle, formed by breathing in and breathing out. What a strange thing to be doing. Strange thing to be listening to. Strange thing to be happening. And then this is just the wonderfulness of this possibility. But there is this homage to the blessed, noble, and perfectly enlightened one possible. This gift of the Dhamma that somewhere or another has been passed through 2,500 years, and then how is this experienced? How is that a whole idea experienced by this being here and now? How is this being experiencing that? Who is experiencing that? How is it experienced? Sustaining this attention, and what the heck is happening? Because you're giving yourself here and now the opportunity to listen to this, to witness this, however you're doing it, in whatever time and space that you experience. You're giving yourself something. How you're receiving that gift. What are you giving that gift? How are you releasing your experience of this? This is the reflection. that one can use as a way of pointing out something, or stopping something, or not getting born in believing blindly, but knowing how belief works, knowing how faith works, knowing its conditioning, experiencing, knowing the effort that one puts into it, and sustaining that with wisdom through the balance of attention given, mindfulness, sati, the sense of awakened balance in areas that actually do lead to peace. The body, how's it moving? How is it sitting? How's its posture? What is it? The response towards or away from this experience, the Vedana, the feeling tone of this experience, pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral, knowing the neutral, not knowing the neutral, what's the experience of that? What's the tone of this whole experience? Is it tight? Is it cloudy? Is it bright? Is it elevated or is it dull? What is happening? What's stopping the knowing? And how do I know what's stopping the knowing? And how is this working? What's the hindrance and how does it work? This is the now and here. This is the time and place. This is the limitation, and this is the patience. Because this is what we've got. The karma, the intention that's given us this moment. And what we make of this moment, how do we transform this moment so that it's a blessing, not a curse? So it's less suffering and not more. Questioning, the investigation, or the resting in the knowing, or the knowing of the knowing. Keep at it, eh? That's the encouragement. So this has been of any use. Use it. If it isn't, or it's just confusing, or wow, he's rubbishing on again. Know that too. Enjoy. Good luck. Beings wish you well. And if you have questions, type them in. And if there are no questions, no bothers. Lately, I've been having a hard time practicing meditation. There are many work and personal issues that prevent me continuing with practice. I feel weak and lonely in the practice, not like when I had the opportunity to be with you in the monastery. Here in Madrid, there's no place where I can go and feel the power of Sangha. I don't know if I expect an answer to this question. I read texts by Amaravati, I try to meditate, but I feel weak in my practice. I send you a big greeting from Madrid. I miss you all. The best you can. The best you can, Jose. Jose. Just a sense of one breath. a sense of the noticing of one moment, a sense of appreciation of, oh, wow, this is what it feels like to be weak and neglected. This sense of acceptance of this is how it is. The sense of investigation of, oh, lonely, upset, no power, no support. I want more connection. You know, this knowing that sense of neediness, a sense of restlessness. Where is it experienced? But if you can't get the effort to do that, then just enjoy the moment, the minute, the second of, oh, this is what the toes feel like, the fingers feel like, the breath feels like. Wherever the sense of knowing this present and knowing this knowing, whatever brief is when it comes up, allow that to be appreciated. Allow that to be something that there's some joy with. Try that. Give yourself a present. When you sense you're doing this, also notice that you're giving all beings in Madrid and all beings throughout all universes, born and to be born, a moment of mindfulness. Give yourself that. What's the best and simplest way to make somebody smile? Don't know. How do you make somebody smile, Miguel? You can't do it, really. You can't. You must smile. I got no idea. It is something that's worth noticing, and when it does happen, to notice the release. When there's a smile of release, there's a smile of, I'm not taking this whole thing too personally. It's worth noticing. What does it mean to practice sense restraint? Not to overstimulate or indulge the senses just for the sake of getting a kick out of them. That's what means sense restraint, when it's overstimulating the senses. That's the senses are like wounds, and you've got to really cover them. One of the ways of doing it is to stop. When the senses go out, or when the mind goes out through the senses, then it's seeking something, and that is bothering the thing that it goes out to seek. And it's so sensual indulgence is a deadening of the senses. It's not to say not be sensitive. It's actually you can be more sensitive by sense restraint. Because the senses are actually more sensitive. That's very good. If I'm practicing the question who, at some point I don't get an answer at all, good. Stay with that not knowing. What should happen when this question is asked? You'll find out if you ask. What is the practice, and what should be happening during it? It's okay. It needs to happen. I think it's just 2 or 3 weeks since I have mentioned it, and I'm sure that there are books about it. I'm sure Ajahn Sumedharama's probably got a few dozen talks about it. The question of asking the who am I, and the thinking that there should be some sort of answer is interesting. Just keep doing it. If you want to do it, just do it. day and night. Yes, who? Somebody's doing it. Yeah, the noting business, Eric, is a way that's for some practitioners in the some things. One of the things that the Ajahn Buddhadasa, I think, said about that noting, experiencing, lifting, thinking, is that there's a word that I think Ajahn Buddhadasa said that was left out. Entire, it's called ngor, and I think, and because the tone of that noting, I think, is what is important. If the noting is, oh, this is thinking, or this is lifting, this is that, it becomes very mechanical, and I am noting, it's just distracting, and you can probably do it, but I haven't really done it. But the suggestion from Ajahn Buddhadasa was that there be the tone in the noting of, oh, that's what's happening. There's only this. Oh, there's no body lifting. There's just the lifting. It's just the rising and falling. Oh, that sense of wonderment in the noting, or the sense of dispassion in the noting, or the sense of not being fooled by what's happening. Those are the qualities to bring to the noting. When you note something in this noting practice, bring the quality of disenchantment, so you're no longer fooled by it, by thinking, I am doing it, or I am noting, or I am doing. It's just nature. It's just the rising, the falling, the lifting, the placing. There's no agency here. It's just this much. Give it back to nature. Try that if you want to continue with the noting, or just don't do it, do something else. There's plenty of practices. Is planning, thinking a large part of my meditation practice? No. Yeah, mental noting is not a large part of my meditation practice. Ah bon? A todo? I think that's probably noting the end of the formal recording, noting just this much.